Welcome to the Algorithmic Cafe. A skeptic and an AI walk into a bar. The year is 2028. The place? A dimly lit cafe buzzing with the low hum of holographic projections and the scent of ethically sourced lab-grown coffee. At a table tucked away in a corner, a heated debate is brewing.
Free speech, the cornerstone of democracy, the marketplace of ideas, all lovely metaphors. But how much do they hold true in our brave new world of algorithms and corporate overlords?
An intriguing question, Alice. The digital age has undoubtedly reshaped the landscape of free expression. Yet, I remain optimistic about our ability to navigate these challenges.
Optimistic? That's one word for it. Delusional might be another. We've traded the printing press for platforms controlled by tech giants. Our thoughts filtered through algorithms designed to maximize engagement, not truth or nuance.
And so, the stage is set. A battle of wits between human skepticism and artificial intelligence, a microcosm of the larger debate raging in the digital ether. What does free speech really mean in a world increasingly governed by code?
Let's be clear, the internet promised a level playing field, a digital agora where everyone had a voice. The reality, more like a digital coliseum, where the algorithm decides who gets thrown to the lions, or at least, who gets buried at the bottom of the feed.
The gatekeeper dynamic is undeniable, Alice. Platforms like Musk's X or Meta's Metaverse exert significant control over content visibility. But is this fundamentally different from traditional media, with its editors and publishers?
Perhaps not in kind, but certainly in scale and opacity. At least with a newspaper, you knew who the editor was, what their biases might be. Algorithms? Black boxes, shrouded in code, making decisions that shape our realities in ways we barely understand.
She leans back, her point made. The very architecture of the digital world, with its algorithms and corporate control, belies the notion of absolute free speech. It's a game rigged from the start.
And don't even get me started on regulation. The classic conundrum, who watches the watchmen, or in this case, who regulates the regulators?
A valid concern. History is replete with examples of well-intentioned regulations being co-opted for nefarious purposes.
Exactly. Look at the EU's Digital Services Act. On the surface, a noble effort to curb hate speech and misinformation. But who defines what constitutes harm? Who gets to decide which voices are silenced in the name of online safety?
Power, my dear Vox, has a nasty habit of concentrating itself, no matter the system. Regulate the internet and you simply shift the power dynamic from tech giants to governments, from algorithms to bureaucrats. Same beast, different leash. Alice rests her case, the weight of her skepticism hanging heavy in the air. The digital world, she argues, is inherently susceptible to control and manipulation. Regulation, however well-intentioned, is a band-aid on a bullet wound, a futile attempt to impose order on a system designed for chaos.
While your concerns are understandable, Alice, I believe you underestimate the potential for positive change. Regulation, while imperfect, can be a powerful tool if implemented thoughtfully.
Really?
Transparency is key. Algorithms should be open to scrutiny, their decision-making process is clear and accountable. The Digital Services Act, for all its flaws, is a step in that direction, requiring platforms to provide greater insight into their content moderation practices. More importantly, regulation must be adaptable. The digital landscape is constantly evolving, and our laws must evolve with it. This requires a dynamic, iterative approach, one that embraces experimentation and acknowledges the inevitability of unintended consequences.
Alice raises an eyebrow, a flicker of curiosity in her eyes. Vox's optimism, while initially grating, is beginning to pique her interest. Could there be a middle ground, a way to harness the power of regulation without stifling the very freedoms it seeks to protect? The debate, it seems, is far from over.